very special occasion for us. Our Minister of Trade and Industry, Mr. Ebrahim Patel, has come to visit the country of Selrose and meet the Selrosians. He's spoken with some of you today. I love the white, by the way. And what's more is our minister supported us through our journey, through the difficult times, COVID, the Edcon collapse, and he and his team in the IDC have been kind enough to believe in us as Selrosians and allow us to invest in technology that we can bring home clothing manufacture to South Africa and create opportunity and work for those less fortunate than us. And I sincerely hope that today you leave a great impression on our Minister of Trade and Industry to show him what true South African factories and true South African people look like and behave in the workplace. Guys, I'm not going to take too long. Just other than to thank the Minister for everything he's done for us as Selrosians, I'm going to hand you over to the Minister of Trade and Industry, Mr. Ebrahim Patel.
Let me start by saying, Sani Bonani. Good afternoon. I'd like to greet the management of Selrose, led by John Comley and his team. I'd like to greet the leadership of SACTU, the trade union that you are all members of. I'd like to greet the leadership of the Industrial Development Corporation, the IDC, that is a government agency that is here with us today. And most importantly, I'd like to greet every worker, every person who is employed here at Selrose, and I am so happy to be here. I come from a meeting I had yesterday in Cape Town. And we met in Cape Town with the business people from all the large customers of Selrose, the retailers. We met with the factory owners, the representatives of all the factory owners, as well as the leadership of the trade unions, including SACTU. And we met because we wanted a report on what has happened over this 5 years in the clothing, textile, and footwear industry. In 2019, President Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa addressed Parliament. In his address, he committed the country that he and his administration was going to work to save jobs in South Africa. He was going to work together with industry to create a partnership. And shortly thereafter, we created a partnership in the clothing industry. That partnership is called a master plan. That partnership has brought retailers to commit that they will continue to buy from South African factories, and they will increase the amount of goods that they buy from factories that are based here in South Africa. And so I asked them all, how far have you come? And they reported to me that in this 5-year period, the retailers have brought back to South Africa more than 350 million items of clothing. That over this 5-year period, 20,000 new jobs have been created in the clothing sector. In this 5 years, they reported to me, many thousands of jobs have been saved, and you as workers here in Selrose is proof of that. Selrose used to be owned by the Edcon Group. Edgars was your main customer. Then the Edcon Group went into financial trouble. They could not continue. They could not buy from Selrose. And there was a moment when all the jobs in Selrose here and Isitebe could have been lost. But this company is too important, and you as workers rely so much on the jobs here that when we sat down in Pretoria and we heard the news, we did everything to try to slow down the collapse of Edcon. We helped the company, the retailer, to try to stay in business while we found a solution for Selrose. And there is part of my department's government entities is called the Industrial Development Corporation. The IDC sent a team to meet with the management of Selrose. And the IDC moved very, very quickly. They asked for the books of Selrose. They looked at the books. They saw that the company was in trouble. But they also saw that you had a strong management and very skilled workers. And so the IDC decided that it will come in and invest in Selrose. That it will invest in Selrose to give the company a chance to recover, because you had lost all of your orders from Edgar's. And so over this period, this journey that the management and the IDC has walked together, what you have done, you have found new customers. You have found other retailers that are now buying from Selrose. I walked on the production floor this morning and I saw products that are going to different retailers in South Africa. And that was good news, because that is saving the jobs here. And so the master plan that government had put in place was about ordinary South Africans. How to make sure that Precious, who works here at Selrose, is able to have a wage that she earns, that she can pay the food that the family needs. Is to make sure that Gloria or someone who has come here as a young man who now works in the warehouse or he works in the cutting room, Jabu, has an opportunity to earn a living. And it is to make sure that all of us here in Selrose, in KwaZulu-Natal, in the country as a whole, is able to look after our families and, importantly, to build our country and to build our economy. That is what the master plan is about. It's created new jobs, but it's also saved jobs. It's also meant that a young woman called Lali is able now to see that her child gets the education, and when that young boy or girl is 18 and they pass matric and they've studied hard and they are accepted at a university, that government gives a bursary called NSFAS to that young child so that they can become a graduate. They can come back here to Selrose not as a sewing machinist, but as a production manager or as a financial manager. And so, step by step, we help to make our country a better place for everyone. I wanted to see how far Selrose got. I was here maybe about 5 years ago and looked at the challenges and difficulties, but also the good things that was happening. Today I see a factory that is now producing new products. You have moved into denim in a very serious way. You are now one of the largest denim producers in South Africa. And so every time you have a new line, a new product that comes in, for example, the corporate wear that you do under the O label it means your jobs get protected. And so the management's work is to find new orders so that when you make products, there's a customer who wants it. And the job of the supervisors and the shop stewards and the workers is to make sure that we produce high quality products. Every time a Selrose product is on the shelves of a factory, of a shop, it must be the best that there is. Our products can be better than the products of China and of India. Am I right about that? Because we have skills here that you as workers, you as supervisors, you as managers are talented. And our role as government is to help you, to support you, to make sure that there is every bit of effort to keep jobs here in South Africa. So I am delighted to be here. I come, as I say, with good news from Cape Town that factories in many parts of the country are now producing very well again. Yesterday I was at a factory that now has 1,500 workers under one roof, one massive factory. And just a few years ago, they only had 700 workers. So they have increased enormously over this period. And so 2 weeks ago, I went to Nelson Mandela Bay, the city that used to be known as Port Elizabeth. And I was able to visit a factory there that does duvets, that has doubled its employment over this period. So we are bringing jobs back to South Africa. I end off by saying that Selrose has had difficult times. You had to deal with COVID-19 and the impact it had on the factory when production could not take place. You had to deal with the unrest in parts of KwaZulu-Natal in July 2021 when your production was stopped and our jobs were at risk and almost destroyed. You had to deal with the floods that hit KwaZulu-Natal that caused serious damage, including in the Tongaat area to the water supply. You had to deal with the fact that people are fighting in Europe, Russia and Ukraine, and it has resulted in food prices going up, the price of petrol going up, the price of fertilizer going up, making it more difficult for you as workers to feed your families. You've seen how prices have gone up in the supermarkets. You've had to deal with the collapse of Edgar's and the challenges that it's had. You've had to deal with the fact that there have been electricity problems because we had a shortage of electricity. So for a period, we needed to have load shedding. You needed to deal with a problem in the ports where the fabric is coming in from elsewhere and it is stuck in the port of Durban, unable to reach here. But in spite of that, you have kept this factory going. Every worker here, every manager here has put their energy, their life, their commitment to keeping production here in South Africa. I want to compliment the Industrial Development Corporation, one of our agencies. They've been here with you in these years, walking the journey with you, making sure that you are able to have jobs here in KwaZulu-Natal. So today is for me a bit of a celebration that this factory is not only standing, it is stronger than it was 2 years ago. It is slowly getting to the point where it grows and it can make money, to the point where it can attract more capital from people who want to expand the factory. But before that, it was losing a lot of money because it lost its customer base when Edgar's went down. And that was not caused by you as workers, that was not caused by the management, that was outside of all of your control. So let me end. Let me end by saying that I have enormous respect for what this company has done from difficult times. Had the management and the workers not been prepared to work closely together, this factory would have closed. And think about it. Think where you would have gotten a job. Think how difficult it would have been at home with no employment. And it took you working with the management, working with government to get to where we are today. And so when you go into the shops and you buy clothing, encourage people to buy products that are made here at Selrose, because you know those are great products. And so thank you very much for your efforts. The journey is not over. When Madiba, the late Nelson Mandela, wrote his book, Long Walk to Freedom, he shared with the country his reflection. He was an old man already. He had been in prison for many, many, many years. He's been in prison for longer than some of the people have lived on earth that are with us. I met a 20-year-old person earlier today. Madiba was in prison for 27 years. He went through difficult times. And he said in his book, he says, his life has been like climbing a hill. It has taken effort to get there. When he reached the top of the hill, there's a moment to pause, to catch your breath, to look at the horizon, and then to see there are many more hills to climb. And that is life's journey. It is what makes life worth living, that we never stop needing to do something more. I know you've built many great friendships among yourself as workers. This company is special for me because here you have workers whose home language is isiZulu. They speak the beautiful language isiZulu. You have people here whose home language is English. Many, many, more than 100 years ago, they came here, their ancestors came here as indentured laborers to work on the sugar plantations brought here by the British. And today you have created one community, one people, one Selrose, one workforce, and I salute you. Thank you very much for this opportunity to say a few words, and I hope everything of the best for you as workers and for Selrose in future. Thank you very much. So I have now been asked by John Comley, he's given me a scissors. We are going to cut a ribbon. And the ribbon is to symbolize the new laundry that is helping you to conquer the denim market. And in this laundry, there's a special machine that the company has bought, that you can see these beautiful patterns. They are made so that our products from Selrose can be sold. So
Thank you so much, Selroses, for having us at the IDC. We are so, so proud, so excited. Tina, we come here often, and you probably don't see us, but we walk around the factory. We see you doing the work. We're so, so proud of Selrose. More so because of the women that work here, that look after their families. And we're so proud that we've managed to keep this company and to allow it to grow so that you, as the mothers of the nation, can continue to feed your children. We're also proud of the men, of course. We're not excluding them. But it's so important to have a company that is really, really driving women empowerment and women participation in the economy. When we came during the floods, I came and I saw John and I said, I was so worried. We also came during the, what do they call it? When the fights?
The rise.
When the unrest. And John said to me, Lucretia, you won't believe, the people of Selrose protected Selrose. We are so proud of you for standing on the gates and making sure that Selrose was not affected by the riots. It's because of your work that we are able to come here and celebrate this jeans factory. And we're excited that Selrose is going to be the #1 jean maker, not only in South Africa, but also in the continent. Malibongwe.
And then if I can finally just ask one of the SACTU representatives to say a word or two.
My comrades, sibonga kakhulu kuba nani namhlanje. Ngiyathemba ukuthi ke njengoba senizwile zonke izinkulumo ubudlelwano bethu nabaphathi abuqhubeke ngaleli zinga obukulona ngoba lokho kwenza ukuthi sikwazi ukusupply ama customer ngalondlela sandisa imisebenzi. So we appreciate the presence of the minister here because as a union it's our duty to create jobs and also protect jobs. So minister, you know, he's coming from Ipesiake, it's a working class. He was our general secretary. So we call upon him to assist, and he has done that tremendously well. So we hope a relationship is now no minister, no government, sikwazi ukusiza nisizakale as many as inzima. That is very important. Jabula kakhulu. Sengathi seroza ngaqhubeka nje aye phambili nisebenze njengoba sekushiwo niqine ne-union nilawuleke phela ngithi yabona so ukuze imisebenzi yethu ibe protected. Amandla.
I'm going to give the last word to the person who keeps the factory going, who loses sleep when there is no orders, and who represents a whole team of management that have really led all of you. So can I finally give the last word before I say thank you to John Comley.
Well, guys, I think, you know, many things were said by the minister today and all the speakers, Lucretia, representative from SACTU, and they all spoke about what you have done for yourselves as Selrosians. And I stand here today and I look at this factory and I just look at all of you quickly. Look at one another quickly. And just say hi. I mean, I don't think there are many schools as big as this. And yet, this is a school of thousands of people that is creating value and that's doing things that's driving our economy. But most of all today, have you ever thought of this? Give yourself a large hand of applause. It's through your efforts and what you've done that your Minister of Trade and Industry saw fit to come and visit your plant today and to take the time out of a very busy schedule to open our laundry and wish us well in the future. And not only that, to commit that he will stand by us and work with us to turn South Africa into the most industrialized nation on the planet. We're there already, but we don't make enough stuff. We buy it too much. And our job, and you guys as Selrosians, and I see by the way you behave and do what you're doing, garnering skill, learning every day, it's incumbent upon you to make investors believe that South Africa is the place to invest, that they put their money behind us so that we can make their garments and we can express ourselves with the great skills we have. I'm proud of you as an organization. I'm proud of each and every one of you for your skill. You craftsmen and craftswomen are exceptional. Today proved it, that we've got the IDC as well as a funder being here supporting us through this phenomenal day. Minister, we want to wish you well on your journeys. I know This month is going to be a tough month. I know you've been run out on your feet. Just yesterday you were in Cape Town, but you took the time to get us this morning at 9:30. So I suspect sleep is a premium and hard work never stops. We just want to ensure you, as Selrosians, that we will do everything in our power to make your government proud.
Thank you.
Wishing you well, all the best for the future. And Selrosians, just let's give a loud applause to our Minister of Trade and Industry. Thank you for the effort. And guys, now because it's such an auspicious day, you are welcome to head home. Have a wonderful afternoon. Drive safely and enjoy your weekend.